Hi, I'm Kai. Welcome to Oxford Online English. In this lesson, you can learn about silent letters in English. Think about words like no, climb, or answer. They all have silent letters, letters which are written but not pronounced. Do you know which letters are silent in these three words?
In this lesson, you'll learn more about silent letters so that your English pronunciation can be clear and correct. Right, so do you know any words which start with a silent letter? You should. There was one in the question I just asked you. The word no starts with a silent letter. You say no and not kno. There are other words like this, which start with kn, but the K is not pronounced. Can you think of any?
Other examples are knee, knife, or knock. Another common silent letter at the start of a word is H. You can see this in words like hour or honest. Finally, what do you call a doctor who treats mental illnesses? This doctor is a psychiatrist. In words like psychiatrist, which begin with P-S, the P is silent.
These words are often more academic words, for example, psychology or pseudonym. There aren't so many everyday words starting with PS. So now you know 3 ways a word can start with a silent letter. KN, like no, knee, knife, or knock. H, like honest or hour. PS, like psychiatrist, psychology, or pseudonym. You can also find silent letters in the middle of a word. Here, there are many letters which can be silent. Let's do a test. I'm going to show you 5 words. Can you find the silent letters?
Do you know the answers? Let's look together. The B in debt is silent. Debt. The I in business is silent. Business. This is unusual because normally silent letters are consonants. However, vowels can sometimes be silent too. The L in half is silent. Half. The P in receipt is silent. Receipt. And lastly, the W in answer is silent. Answer. Did you get the right answers?
You can see that many different letters can be silent and that silent letters can be anywhere in the word. So how do you know if a letter is silent or not? With silent letters in the middle of a word, there really aren't any rules. The best way is to write down the words with phonetics. English spelling is not logical at all. Using phonetics to write down vocabulary will help you remember the correct pronunciation. For example, if you look at the word answer, you might try to read the W. But if you use the phonetics, you can see there's no W sound. Answer.
Let's do some more practice. Look at 5 more words. Can you find the silent letters? Muscle. Should. Island. Guitar. Sword. So now you've seen many of the common English words which have a silent letter in the middle. You can also find silent letters at the end of a word. Here, things are a bit more regular. There are patterns you can find. What's this? Is it my thumb or my thumb? It's my thumb. The B is silent.
In other words ending MB, the B is also silent. Climb, limb, bomb. There are also a few words ending MN, and the N is silent, like autumn or dam. Finally, there are also some French words which are used in English, like ballet, buffet, or gourmet. With these words, you use the French pronunciation, so you say ballet and not ballet. What about words like rate, sight, or cope? Those end with a silent E, right? Yes and no.
Sometimes the line between a silent letter and a non-silent letter can be hard to draw. This isn't always true. Think about the word autumn. The N is completely silent. You could take it away and you would still pronounce the word the same way. Now think about the word sight. You might say that the E is silent. However, if the E wasn't there, you would pronounce the word as sit, as in sit down.
So sometimes silent letters aren't completely silent. Silent letters can change the pronunciation of a word, even if you don't pronounce the letter itself. Look at 5 pairs of words and think about how the E on the end changes the pronunciation. Let's read the words together. Win, wine. Us, use. Cop, cope. Her, here. Rat, rate. You can see that adding E to the end of a word makes a big difference to the pronunciation, even if you don't actually pronounce it. Sometimes silent letters can make an even bigger difference to the pronunciation of a word.
You saw before that most silent letters are consonants, but that vowels can be silent letters too. Sometimes a vowel can be silent, and this can mean that a word loses a syllable. An example, take the word restaurant. It's written with 3 syllables, restaurant. However, in spoken English, it usually has 2 syllables, restaurant. This is a special case because these letters aren't necessarily silent. You could say restaurant with 3 syllables, restaurant. However, most native speakers wouldn't pronounce the word like this. Can you think of any more examples like this?
Let's practice. Here are 5 words. Each word has 1 silent syllable. Which syllable might not be pronounced? Pause the video and think about your answers if you want. Let's look together. In comfortable, the or can be dropped. Comfortable. In chocolate, the O can be dropped. Chocolate. In different, the first E can be dropped. Different. In camera, the E can be dropped. Camera. And in vegetable, you can drop the second E. Vegetable.
Remember that in all of these words, the letters aren't necessarily silent. Some native speakers pronounce all of the syllables in these words. However, it's more common to reduce these words and make them as short as you can. Reducing the words by dropping syllables also makes them shorter and easier to say. This can help you to speak more fluently. Let's review the words one more time. Comfortable. Chocolate. Different. Camera. Vegetable. You might be thinking, how do I know which words have silent syllables? How can I check?
Good questions. Like many points with silent letters, there aren't exactly rules you can follow. However, you can check whether a word has silent syllables or not. Look up the word in a dictionary. Look at the phonetic transcription next to the word. A good dictionary will show you all the possible pronunciations of the word, including whether any syllables can be dropped.
So now you've seen how letters can be silent. You've learned about common patterns with silent letters, and you've seen how silent letters can change the pronunciation of a word. You can practice this topic more on our website, where there's a quiz to help you review what you've learned in this lesson. There are also many other great free English lessons.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.